What's up, everybody? I'm Ethan with Fight Me on This.
I'm Jill, Coach Jill.April.
And we have a very fucking cool episode. It got out a little bit because I've been out and about since we talked, and little birdies heard that you were going to be on the show and freaked out. So it's a good time.
There was a lot of people that were like, on your podcast?
Yeah, very honored that you are on our podcast because people were super stoked and shocked and many other adjectives. So we're excited to have you. This is Shifting the Lens podcast. Welcome back. We're on episode, I don't fucking know.
30, I think.
Did we make it to the third decade already? Sick. We're almost as old as me. Perfect. I would love to introduce our guests. Plural. There's more than one. I really do want to, but I'm going to get really excited. So hold on a second. I got to prep for that. Hold on. I was going to get really freaked out. 1 second. Okay. I'm wearing a shirt. It's like my favorite shirt. It's one of my favorite shirts. And though it's not the whole topic, like I really wear this bitch proudly and I stand on business with it all the time. That makes me really happy. And I get noticed in this shirt, and I get noticed because the person that created the being, the wonderful mind behind this shirt and the whole project is on our podcast. Stevie B's and their partner, Eric, have made it to our show. We're going to talk a whole bunch of shit. It's going to be a good time. Welcome them to Shifting the Podcast. Hi, guys. How are you?
Excellent.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, we're happy to be here.
This is going to be a riot. On our show, we start with hards and joys, and I warned you about that.
Yeah, you did.
We're going to share our hards, and this time Eric's going to go first because I'm not playing this game.
Oh, dip. Okay. Hards for me this week. I have been trying really hard to manage my expectations. We just got our security system installed, and I am constantly checking it now. Every time there's a notification, I'm on it, and it's messing with me more than I expected it to. So I'm that's what's going on with me right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I also have our security on my phone.
Right.
And Ethan went for a walk this morning and I was like, make sure it's not a murder. And
right.
I checked my security camera as I heard the door lock. So right. I feel that in my own ways. I'm also the only female in our house. I'm like, is that something scary? And I'm like, oh no, it's just Ethan going for a walk. We're fine.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect to be constantly, every little notification makes me, check it for 2 minutes and scrub the footage just to make sure there's nothing there, but that's where I am right now.
Before I actually get into Stevie's hard, could you actually expand on where this difficulty comes from? Because I know, obviously, you guys have been very, very public about it. But if you could let our listeners, viewers know what's actually been going on for the two of you and for the community around you and for your family. And yeah.
For sure. So back in mid-May, our cars were vandalized and our house was attempted to be vandalized and they stopped. I don't know if they ran out of time or if they noticed someone was coming out. I don't know. But yeah, our cars were spray painted. Our tires were slashed. It's been a whole bundle of no fun. And we're pretty sure that, it's who Stevie is as a person, who they are as a trans individual, and what they stand for activism rights and, the rights of the trans and queer community. So it feels very targeted, and it's not fun. I don't know. Stevie, do you want to add any more to that?
You nailed it. That's pretty much it. It just feels violating to have it happen at your home, and then to know that the police really don't want to do anything about it. It wasn't just our house; it was other queer community members across London that were all hit in the same night, and then a couple nights later, they were all hit again. So. Yeah, I don't know how you don't call that a hate crime, but
yeah.
I think that's really icky in the system to have it happen at your personal house. Not that it's better to happen out in public, but to know that somebody knows exactly where to find you is a really uncomfortable feeling.
A little bit, though.
Yeah, a little bit. Can only laugh, otherwise you just get pissed and cry. Stevie, what is your hard? It can mimic. It can have its own voice. What is your hard for this week?
My hard this week is I'm really struggling with being as public as I am because I live out loud, and when I I'm autistic, right? So not everything makes sense, but I also process everything out loud. And I do it very publicly. And so like when I have a public meltdown, it's very public and it's not great. Yeah, right. Um so I had a good one this week and it was embarrassing,
Mm,
and I feel like I've come back to a place of being regulated, but it takes a while, and yeah,
mm.
it it just didn't look very good.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Do you mind if we sit in there for a second?
Absolutely, bring it on.
What was it? What happened? Tell us, walk us through the actual heart. Because there's, for me, I will never invalidate the outburst because
So,
I know why they happen, and so
mhm,
I would love to sit with that with you because I, as much as it sucks and it is embarrassing, uh, there is a piece of this that I believe everybody can take out of this is why did it happen?
yeah,
Also, you're not. It's not because you're autistic. Okay, I
no.
give a fuck. It's not because you're autistic. But let's sit with it anyways. I would love to chat with you about that.
So it started because so I send t-shirts to influencers and other trans activists. And I chose to send shirts to Mercury Stardust. I knew about the controversy around Mercury Stardust, but I had heard her videos where she took accountability for things that she had done in her past. I had watched her videos where she like apologized to the community. Um, I had listened to the podcast where when she was presenting as a man had said some really inappropriate things about some minors. Um, but I had heard her videos where she had taken accountability and I felt confident. Um, and so I sent her some merch and she wore them and I shared the pictures. Um, what I did not know is that there were victim statements that I had not heard.
Hmm.
So I was called out a couple times, um, of course, and as they should be. I'm very comfortable with being called out. But I wasn't really, I mean, and this could be a part of just my white fragility where I got defensive about how I was being called out. Um, and like I said, I'm comfortable with being called out. I'm comfortable with taking accountability and making public apologies. I've done it more than my fair share publicly because I think that's important that people see how it's done, that people see how we grow. But I hadn't heard the victim statements until they were sent to me by a very kind person who said, "Hey, I think that you should listen to these because you're making a fool out of yourself." Um, so I did, and I had to make a public apology about, I didn't know that. I didn't know that there were victim statements, and of course I stand with victims. Um, so I had to, make that public apology. And there were a few people that just were not satisfied with that apology, saying that like, no, you doubled down a couple times. Um, you blocked people who were calling you out, which is true. I did. Um, just because like I felt attacked, and yeah, it was ugly. Um, and I made a post because I'm like I said, I'm not afraid of getting things wrong. I'm not afraid of making a fool out of myself. I'm not afraid of getting things wrong and making apologies, but I am afraid of being vilified by 25,000 followers. Um,
Hmm.
and it's scary. And so the meltdown was public. It didn't look good. I feel like I've probably come to a place where I've regulated now, but it took a couple days.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with everybody. It's never easy to admit that you lose control, but at the same time, which part of you wasn't hurt? Because the outburst is a piece of you is fucking fed up with not being heard. Like to your point, sure, you're being called out, doing the thing, but the vilification of someone over a mistake is crazy. especially when the apology's been made. And so to be called out again after that, or during the process, and I've made the apology, but that wasn't good enough for you, and you want to make me out like the devil, I can show you a devil, because this nigga's healed. This is the healed form I choose to take every day. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Those that have known me beforehand knows there's a devil somewhere in here. He's very good at his job. Sometimes he's just petty. But I'll tell you that every outburst I have is never the devil outbursting. It's the littlest version of me that wasn't heard when I was 5, when I was trying to tell people somebody was hurting me. Like you know what I mean? Like it's that process. And so thank you for choosing to share that with me, because I think that there is some need to honor the fact that you can't be all the way wrong all the time. And you're not always going to be all the way right.
What a deep heart to start with. Holy crap.
But for fuck's sake, if I'm doing this work, if I'm out here every day and I'm not going to bat 100, don't you dare discredit the other 85, the other 90, the other 95, because you caught me in a moment of being fucking human, of being a traumatized child that still has to deal every day with remembering what it's like to be a traumatized child, because you motherfuckers remind me every day, and I gotta choose to be better.
It's deep.
Hell yeah.
I'm back. What?
Yeah, I also think it's hard, like, being in the public eye, because people expect you to be this, like, perfect human all the time, and they forget that we're just humans. Obviously, we have different followings, we have different platforms, but it's even in my own way, like, I'm still just a human, team. Like, I'm not this. It's to say, I get asked questions all the time where I'm like, I'm also Googling that. Like, I don't know why you guys think I just have like a Rolodex of info all the time. So being in the public eye, people just assume you know everything, can do everything perfectly all the time, and they tend to forget that we're also just
while
humans.
I was still like super heightened, someone mentioned that I should do a statement on the death of Jonathan Joss, which is totally valid. I like, as someone with my platform, I should be making a statement like that. So I had asked them to please email me the information that they had, or where I could do my own research. So they sent me all this information, and in the meantime, I shared a post about like someone else's version. I figured, like, you know what, this is I will make my own statement, but in the meantime, this is gonna have to be good enough until I have the spoons to do this. And then on that post, people are like, this isn't enough. Like, this person deserves more. And I was like, I haven't even done it yet. Like,
yeah. And like, what do you want me to do? Because like the reaction I had was I dropped my phone and yelled, because the reading of "it's not a hate crime" in that story made me want to fucking kill everybody. Like, I can't make you motherfuckers see. Do you want to see hate? Because like, some of you who don't know what a hate crime looks like, even though it is one, should really weigh the option of an alternate universe where the people under the boot respond in hate. Because currently we're responding in love, because we do the work here. We hug our friend that looks like us or resembles you know what I mean? We're responding in love. But if we ever responded with the same hate, holy fucking shit, would stuff change in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? The system would come crumbling down for me. Y'all keep trying to remind us that it doesn't, and telling us that a hate crime isn't a real thing. They dug a dead dog up.
That's messed up.
The case. So this is part of what the initial. And from what I've read, good God, from what I read, the altercation leading up to was that they were away, and as they came back to their property, they saw the remains of their dead dog at their mailbox post. And were beginning to grieve when the fucking neighbor came out of nowhere with the altercation. And that's how he got shot. This is like, I've read this on three different tellings of that story. All said the dead dog was dug up and left for them to find. And they were in so much shock, him and his husband. And then the neighbor came out hollering a bunch of shit, and in defense of whatever that fucking altercation was, in defending his husband. That's how he got shot. Oh, it's like so fucking bad, you guys. And that's what made me mad. Like, that's not a hate crime? From what I understand, they also set the house on fire.
I did know
And
that.
I'm like, sorry, the same motherfuckers that are out here burning crosses, and you're telling me that that's not a hate crime. You guys all use the death of animals as the first sign of psychopathy. And digging one up isn't a hate crime. Leaving its remains as a threat isn't a hate crime. You want us to eat this fucking rhetoric and just take it on the chin as not hate. I never seen this. I know. It's so edgy in here when we do podcasts, and you get very upset. I'm fine. She doesn't like when I get heated.
It's understandable.
Just checking in. So thanks for sharing your hearts. What a wonderful set that was. I have my own, but I mean, we can leave ours out. That was a great way to start this.
Oh, I want to hear yours now.
You first.
My heart is with dating currently. And it's like, as much as Ethan laughs, I actually...
No, I laugh because I get it, but
I think I'm just going to hit pause on dating. I'm having a really hard time dating women currently. And it's not, like, not to be like, it's not a me problem. It's not a me problem. I'm having a really hard time right now with having women I'm talking to speak one way in terms of like interest and affection and attraction, and then when I'm in the same room as them, none of that happens, and I'm like, team, why did we say it out loud then if we weren't going to do it? And I'm not, like, to give context, it could be as simple as like the classic when you're first starting to get to know somebody and you're excited to like be affectionate with them, and they're like, next time I see you, like, I can't wait to kiss you. And then we're in the same room and you sit 3 feet away from me. I'm like, what was our plan? Like, we could have just not said that thing out loud, and then I wouldn't be sitting here with an expectation that you set that's not happening anymore.
Cool.
So, yes, go
I
ahead.
just want to interject that nobody should date during Pride Month because everybody is freaking psychotic during Pride.
Thank you for the warning. We're new.
I'm new here.
This is our like we were out together last year. This is the first time we're out. So we're learning.
Pride Month is not the time to date in the Pride community.
This has been a problem before, but that's the greatest warning. We're going to pause all our apps. This is also why it's been fucked up out here.
Oh my god.
Yes, I tickled Eric. That was a good one.
During young, everybody is heightened. Everybody, honestly, you might even be in a pool of people who aren't gay, but like, it's Pride Month. Let's try.
That's so fair.
I said this
so fair.
Fuck. Said this to Ethan the other day, where like I get a lot of females that are like, why is it so hard to be gay? And I'm sitting here being like, it's not. I don't understand where this narrative of it's so hard to be gay comes from.
Like, straight. It's just different parts.
This is my thing, is I'm like the same way you would show up and hang out with a man and like make out with you can also do that with a girl. It's not hard. And I have a really hard time with females, and it like kind of gives me the ick when they're like, being gay is hard. I'm like, I just don't think you're actually gay. Like, that is what that's reading, is you're not actually gay. Because like, I'm new here and it's not that hard.
Wait for July.
When you started your story, Stevie's face killed me, because so far everyone that we tell in like direct communications, like that.
Just wait for July when everybody like stops being gay, and then the real gays are left.
And the real gays are left in that month that's real hot, and then Carrie West happens for us in August, and then it's just black nude sexiness walking the streets. Yo, y'all should come out. I'm king this year again. Y'all should come out August 10th. I'm just saying.
Deal.
So I'll just
make a trip and then come walk beside me. I'll give you a t-shirt.
I'll just put a pause on my apps, be like, I'm actually not dating till July. So
exactly.
Canada Day. This opens again. Canada, let's go.
I'm on a sabbatical. It's all good.
I'm taking a mental health leave from dating.
Oh, seriously.
No shit, though. My heart is just my mental health. When it just tanks. It really still does. And I'm learning to speak again more on it as I do. I just posted another video, and it's always fun to see because I'm learning TikTok new as I navigate business and life with Jill, and sharing more the way that I started this mission on. And every time I share these really like heavy and hard ones, everybody like really sinks into them, and that's what I started this mission for. But when you're a model, specifically like specializes in boudoir and spice, that by choice I chose to do it. I didn't ever think I'd be a model. That is a professional dominant that preaches and practices safe kink and BDSM, and spends a lot of time showing my body that I built off. It's often a wild space to also immediately have no libido or have no attraction or have flashbacks cause problems during, and this will always be hard. And I've been very, very blessed to have someone like Jill who navigates those spaces with me very, very well. But it's also hindered dating. It's hindered communication and relationships and connections with lots of people because I am out here in the public eye the way I describe myself. And that includes on dating apps. And people see that and then they go do the thing and they track me down and go, holy shit, that's him. And so I have a very hard time with believing people are here because they actually like me and not just because they want an experience. I spent my whole life being a sex object, literally 31 out of 34 years. I get to choose what I do with my body now, and that's my favorite part. And it's still exhausting to feel like I have an obligation to people, including Jill, even in Jill. And again, very, very blessed to have open communication in a space to work with someone that never actually puts it on me. But Jill's not everybody. And it's been my experience as a black man, even at 300 pounds, that not everybody's Jill. So that's been really tough to feel, have a really huge push to modeling. I might as well share it with you guys. I've only shared it with 5 other people. I've officially been invited and accepted to walk in Kelowna Fashion Week. For the first time, I got the actual email and walked, showed them videos and everything, and was accepted. So I'll be there for the whole week in Kelowna. I am so fucking excited. I was invited to be king again. I've now a content creator for one of the photographers in the city here. I've got like 9 photo shoots booked already this summer. Outside of, I walk this weekend again. So like with this real push to have a look, it's been really hard to find peace in my own skin. And that's been tough because when I started modeling, I fell into it. I answered a call much like someone was like, hey, can you walk? And I was like, sure. Right. Never done it before in my life, but I was 185 pounds and 10% body fat. And I just said yes. I just fucking said yes. It scared me. So I said yes. 3 years later, like I started on the runway. I didn't know that was a big deal till I took my first fucking photo half naked. And someone's like, wait, you've never taken a picture before? No. I walked and, I did this whole thing weird. So even in my training, I've had a very hard time finding something to grind on because there's no athleticism necessary for a good aesthetic.
Right.
And so it's just been fucking with my mental health in some of the worst ways and bringing up a lot of shit from my past and a lot of feelings that I don't want to have to deal with. None of us do, but to your point of, coming unglued, like I'm tired of having to deal all the time. So that's been my heart. Amidst all of the great, it's still, finding the love of myself again and figuring out what that means.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you've got some great, fantastic news there, but yeah, I can't fathom working through all of that at the same time and the levels of imposter syndromes and expectations that other people are forcing upon you.
Yeah, like like in the body I'm currently in. This is not why they want me. I walk with confidence. I help the other models. I've helped run every single fashion show I've been in just because it's my personality. If people need help, I'm that person.
Right.
So I don't know how to turn that shit off. But this will be the first time that I get paid. I've been paid before, but paid to just model. Everything else is I have to be a fucking model at this fashion week. So it's just a new role and also confirmation that I'm going the right direction. But with confirmation that you're going the right direction, the universe is like, well, you're going to have to level up. So here's a fucked up challenge for you to deal with.
Right.
Amidst all the great.
That's my personal mantra. I mean, obviously it existed online, but in video games, when you get all the hard stuff and the bad guys, you're going the right direction. Yeah.
What?
Just listening.
So I need to catch you looking at me like that.
Because you go on the spiel.
I can't help it.
I know you can't help it. That's why I just listen. Joys. Do we have joys to
Joys.
balance our hearts? Eric, you can go first.
Okay. Joys. You know, my kids always bring me joy. They're
Gay.
yo. You shush.
Gay.
Our kids are doing sports now because it's getting summery out, and watching the progression in their skills week after week, and how much joy they're getting from it is really, really warming my heart and reminding me why it's good to get them out there and exploring new skills. You know, the abilities as they and watching as their brain links up the different techniques and puts them all together into a fluid motion. It's fantastic to watch that. Like building Legos with your brain.
Yeah, very cool. I definitely get that. Like teaching my daughter how to throw for the first time when she was like 5.
Right.
And just like for me having to learn how to communicate with her. I can't say do the thing like I'm talking to a football kid I coach. It's like, you know how you like to point shit out at daddy all the time?
Right.
Point to the fence.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then when you want to do attitude and you stick your foot out, now release the ball halfway through. And like it took 4 attempts, and then she was laser beaming, and I was like, this is great. I can do this all day. I'm not a dad, but this might be it.
Right.
I
Fantastic.
feel that. How about you, Stevie?
Okay. I'm feeling really confident and I'm feeling fulfilled in my relationship with my mom right now, which is kind of something.
Is that it? That's what we're done.
That's the episode, guys.
No, it's been really rocky the past couple of years because my identity and my mom not quite getting it, and my dad's another story. He's doing really well recently too, which is another thing. But like I'm feeling good. Like I see my mom a couple times a week because she comes out to the kids' t-ball and soccer, and it just feels good right now. Like it feels like we have
Good.
things to talk about that aren't related to me and my identity, and um yeah, it just feels good right now. That's my
I like that.
my win, my goal. I don't know. What are we doing? This is
Joy.
joy. This is a joy.
I'll take it. I love that. I love it. You're next.
I think my joy is work related, and I had a call with my manager before we podcasted, and my manager is like actually very similar to Ethan. I think it's why I trust him with my business. But he's very like number focused, which is good because I'm not. I'm just like, I run a business and la di da da, and like not that I don't care. It's just like it's just been a thing that I do versus like I don't really care about the numbers side of it as much as he does. But he just like had a note for me this week in conversation where he was like, yeah, I think you're doing great. Like, I think your numbers are great. I think your income is great. I think like you're carrying yourself through the summer and just like pulling me back to last year, being like, this is where you were last year compared to this year. I'm like, oh, this is why we track numbers. But it just like felt nice to be like, oh no, I am making progress. Because when you're in your own business all the time, you're just like, am I just like spinning tires? Am I actually going somewhere? To as much as I don't care about numbers, to have that reflection from him to be like, this was last year compared to this year was neat to
That's
see.
great.
That's awesome.
Man. Sorry that you're so great at everything.
Yeah.
Like I know it, but fuck, it's like pulling teeth to get her to admit it.
No, but I totally get that. You know, the running your own business thing and spinning reels. It's when you're in it, you can't see anything else. You're so zoomed in that it's not. You can't take a step back to do anything else other than try to survive.
Yeah, something my manager said to me early on of working with him, where he's like, if I'm not panicked, you don't need to panic. And I really have to, like, I borrow Ethan's brain for things all the time too, but it's like my reference point of if I like tell Adam something and he's like, cool, I'm like, okay, great, we don't have to stress about that. Like, I very much rely on that. Like, if he's not freaking out, I don't need to freak out. But it's nice to have that outsource of somebody whose bills don't depend on my income to be like, yeah, you're doing fine, don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think mine is the invite to Fashion Week. It's a big deal. It feels really cool. I got a follow-up email with like all the instructions and shit, and it's like 5 days I'll be there. And day one is all intake and saying hi to everybody. And there's like mandatory. I've always run the model walk shit because I walk like I own the bitch because that is how I work on life. So like to be taught and learn from somebody else will be very cool to see what they bring and what they're looking for. What, if I already know it, it's also be very validating as well. So cool opportunities to mingle, to be a part of the industry that way, to get my face out there and to get my loudness out there, which is also cool. There's a boat cruise that's optional, which will be just like a tour of the Okanagan afterwards, which is like, yeah, just it's a neat opportunity. And then there's like a couple of extras that you can stay for and opportunities. I'm like, listen, I got the invite. I'm soaking this shit in.
Right?
So
all the
really excited.
opportunities.
Yeah, like why not? Like there's like everything is paid for except for the boat cruise, and even that is like $50 a ticket, and it's a big deal. I'm like, oh, so like, do I go and tolerate a bunch of drunk white people to meet the right people, or
Hell
do
yeah.
I? Like, cause I'm like, I smoke like enough in the Kelowna, smoke enough weed. Like, we'd be fine. I'm gonna find my group. I'm gonna find my little group, and let's be happy as shit on a boat.
Right?
Yeah, I'm stoked. So, thank you for sharing that with us, you guys. We've been talking for quite some time. Let's get into the actual show. If we have to break it up into two, so be it.
All right.
Why don't y'all actually introduce yourselves, and then I'm gonna ask you as many questions as I can get done. Rock paper scissors go.
Easier it.
No.
Yeah, beat you to it.
Okay. I'm Stevie.
Hi.
Hi. I am an activist, business owner by accident, parent, working on that author title right now, doing my best. I just want to be seen as like a kind person. I'm not, I like to think that I'm like human enough that like, I'm relatable. A few years ago, we started doing, have you guys ever seen the Sunday posts?
I see too many Sunday posts, not yours.
Okay. So every Sunday, and I do this mostly on Facebook, which is probably why you haven't seen it.
That's probably why.
So mostly on Facebook in a bunch of different groups with like different target audiences and stuff. I will make a post telling people to stop scrolling, take a breath, unclench your jaw, relax. And then we just like talk about like, you made it through another week. It's Sunday. You did a really good job. I'm proud of you. Don't forget to flip your laundry so you have clean underwear for tomorrow. Take your meds and drink your water. And I always finish the post with forehead kisses, virtual forehead kisses. And I started doing that 3 years ago, every Sunday in various Facebook groups. And I think that's where my following came from, is like people like, oh, I want more of this. Just this happen more. And I do it every Sunday for 3 years now. And now it has its own merch on the website.
I love it.
But yeah, I feel like that's kind of like where I started. The t-shirt business, the followers, the podcasts, like that all was secondary to like what happened from these Sunday posts. And I am confident and comfortable with knowing that my people found me because of the Sunday posts, because everybody like healing their inner child.
I love it.
Yeah, that's me. I just want to be seen as like a human person. I happen to also be trans and a retired gestational surrogate. but I just want to be seen as a nice person.
I think that's nice too that your following came from like a very authentic
Hmm.
post, because as a human that's had a few videos like pop off on the internet, those are not typically the followers you want. So to be able to like organically create a following that's like very niche to how you want to be seen and how you are as a human, I think is cool.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're okay.
Shucks.
And Eric, what about you?
Yeah, okay, sure. About me now. Well, yeah, I'm Eric. Hi. I am a father, husband, a graphic designer, business owner on purpose. Um, I am a game master. I inspire myself to try to write. I'm getting eyes from Stevie because I don't know. I guess I'm a nerd, and that's what they want to scream out. But
Nerd.
yeah, there it is.
I got it out. I'm good.
Yep, you're good. Yeah, I could see it like a pot that's starting to boil over. That was until you got that out. Nerd. Um but yeah, that's me. I am a hoarder of facts and anecdotes, and I despise social media and try to stay off it as much as possible.
Sick.
How's that working for you?
Really, really good.
It's not you that's the face, I guess. That's fair.
Yeah.
No, but
I mean,
it's the engine though.
Oh, I believe that. So many questions for you guys that some of them are probably intrusive as shit because I am also autistic.
Bring it.
But like your story together is quite wild. As I'm reading my notes and remembering the conversation that was had, I'm gonna just throw my notes out to the crowd and then I'll edit this later. Stevie, you came out after your second kid.
Yep.
Wild. Eric, you're how there. I have more questions for you. I have tons of questions for you. I have questions for you out my ass. This is gonna be fun. Where would we like to start? I want you to talk about being together for 15 years and being married for 10. Let's start there.
Do you want me to
Let's
do
start
that?
that process. How'd y'all meet?
we met in Chicago on a school field trip.
Wait, you're Americans?
No,
Oh,
Okay, crazy.
no, hell no. God,
You're like, and episode.
And
right? No.
I gotta go.
no, we actually went to the same high school. And we only lived 10 minutes down the road from each other, but we didn't meet until we were 16. And we were both in the music program because we're big nerds. And yeah, we went on a school field trip and we actually met on the field trip. So like that was like the first interaction we've ever had. Um, we met at the Chicago Symphony, was super nerdy, and we were dating like 2 days later, dating for 6 months. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was in May of 2011.
Wild.
Uh, and then yeah, we moved in together. We got a cat. Um, we've moved a few times before we got married. No, after we
No,
got
we
married.
didn't. Yeah, after marriage.
So we got married in 2016 on our 5 year anniversary. We got married at City Hall. Didn't do a big thing. Our parents were there. Our brothers were there. Eric's grandma was Flower Girl. That was really cute. Um, um, yeah, and now we're coming up on 10 years. We've had two kids. Went through gestational surrogacy together, which didn't result in a live birth, but that is a whole other thing. Like I got really, really sick as um, uh, during my surrogate pregnancy, and spent 2 weeks in the ICU. Uh, apparently, people thought I was going to die. I don't know. I have a lot of trauma around that, where like I've blocked most of it out. Um,
Mm.
but you know that in sickness and in health thing, he was there the whole time. Um,
Like, what was I gonna do?
After that, they told me that I probably shouldn't get pregnant again, so we got pregnant again. Had another baby, and yeah. And then my first baby, I didn't breastfeed. I tried to for like that first 6 weeks, and it was giving me like a ton of anxiety. I was really struggling. Um, so uh, we gave that up and started formula. But the second baby, I breastfed, and I started to have a lot of dysphoria um, surrounding my boobs and breastfeeding. And probably about 6 months old, second baby, and I was like, hey, no, I'm not a woman. So that was pretty wild. For like a whole month, I knew and didn't tell anybody. I had asked someone that I went to elementary school with on Instagram had come out as non-binary and was talking about their top surgery. And so I asked them some questions and I was like, hey, this fits. And for like a whole month, I dropped hints all around Eric to see like, is this safe for me to come out? Um, None of them landed and he was still blindsided, um, which is great. But yeah, it's yeah.
Yes, Ethan.
Thank you, Mr. Brocksom. Um, what the fuck was that like?
That was wild. It was.
No, yeah, genuinely. Like if I ask shit out of glee, it's because it's been burning.
Yeah.
somewhere in here for a minute.
For sure. Yeah, it was really, really odd. And yeah, it did blindside me because sure, they dropped hints like, I think I'm gonna dress more masculine. Are you okay with that? Like, Stevie, you've always been a tomboy.
This is awful for me.
Yeah, like you're like you're gonna continue to dress the way you already are,
Right.
intentionally now, not accidentally.
I'm
What
right.
you're saying to me, like
I'm just imagining Stevie being like, I'm killing it. He's gonna catch on.
Yes,
he's
like
gonna get there, and Eric's just like, I don't know why you're telling me this. It's already.
It makes it
happening."
even better because Stevie's autistic, so you're doing the best at being subtle and picking up social cues and being like, "Fuck yeah, that was a good one."
He's gonna
You
figure
practice
it out.
that shit in the mirror. He gave you the nod. His eye was a little wide. I didn't understand the deer in the deer. Is that what that is? Deer in the headlights. That's a very white phrase. What was that look? But the nodding was confirmation. Yes. No. Like, just,
So yeah, it was, what does this mean for us? How do we move forward? What's gonna happen? And I didn't know. I didn't know at first. I made the vows. I'm here. I don't know if that's gonna be true or not, if that's gonna last. And I mean, I guess we're doing okay. So that's,
Sure.
we're still here.
Like, how intrusive are we allowed to ask? Because like outside of like I don't.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have you guys on more than once. Like I want
Okay.
this to be serious because I really do like. There's so much. This is my thing. Is like I want to turn over every rock because there's so much in these conversations that just people want to know.
Yeah.
For any other reason than like, oh, that's wild. That makes sense about what that person would have gone through in that moment. Because there's two sides of this. Of like you could have just left. Like
I could have.
And well within right. You vowed in sickness and in health to Stevie, the woman at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And Stevie went,
Psych!
Not psych, but like I fucked myself up. And so now you, like, I know, I got in the front seat of the roller coaster. If you could at least get in the back seat of the roller coaster, that'd be great. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, like, what was it? How long did it take you to be like, no, like I love the being. Like what was there a moment? Did it take 6 months for the switch to be like, oh, I get it in myself now? Stevie's just Stevie. Like, was there a time frame? Was there a moment where you're like, oh, I get it. I do just love you.
Yes and no, because there was, for the first couple months, I was definitely living in denial. Oh, this is one of Stevie's phases. Stevie goes through a lot of different things, so we're just gonna we're gonna
in the room. No,
right?
never.
We're gonna play the part and we're gonna make it work, and it'll be fine. And I mean, I guess maybe I'm not still playing the part. No, obviously this is legitimate.
Just real confessions on the podcast. Like, I know we said shifting the lens, but this is okay.
Woo.
We're gonna
No, no, of course not. It was. I don't know when the change happened, but at the same time, it just they became so much more themselves,
Mm,
and I could see you know the shelteredness of their persona melting away that I didn't realize was there before.
mm-hmm,
And so it was like, Stevie had taken the Vaseline off the film lens, or, tightened the focus, and Stevie was there now instead of an amorphous shape of someone
mm-hmm.
who is there. So it was really cool to see. It was it defending the identity to other people who were concerned about our relationship definitely helped, because
Mm.
I mean, no, this is the person that I pledged my life to. This is the person that I'm raising a kid with at this point, two kids. I'm not going to. I'm gonna stick this out because this is the not just the right thing to do, but this is how we impact these formative minds. And it turns out I really love Stevie. So
Gay.
yeah,
Gay.
that was gay. That was really wild.
You- before I keep hammering on
Go.
what it was like for you, Eric, Stevie, in these moments or in those moments, after you said what you said bluntly, fuck. What was it like as you continued to step into how you were choosing to identify, how you finally saw yourself, while knowing that Eric was going through the, does that make me gay? Like, and I'm gonna come back to that question for you in a minute, Eric, because I
Yep,
swear
I
to
know
God,
you are.
yeah.
I knew it was there.
But for Stevie, there's also the process of like, for me, when I say shit to Jill, I have to go through this period of, is this the thing? Is
Mhm.
this what finally sends her? Whatever that is. So yeah, if you could speak to what it was like as you navigated the early months of drop kicking a closet door open that you thought you would open slightly.
I I was very trepidatious. I offered several
Good
times
word use.
to not thank you. I offered several times to not come out, um, because I love Eric, and um, he was my person, and I would give it up for him. I still would.
Mm.
It might be a lot harder now because I mean the closet's not just open like where the
There's no
door.
doors on it anymore.
Be like, just
Uh,
ignore everything.
The
Just
yeah,
closet's now the whole house.
yeah,
We got a bead door at best. Like that's the best I can do.
yeah. So yeah, I said several times that like I was willing to just not. Um, I offered at several points, like even when we talked about my top surgery, like, hey, if this is a deal breaker, then I would rather not do it.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, what's that one shirt that you have say? Just something about gender affirming care saving lives or something like that?
Doesn't ring a bell.
No.
No. Um,
We're
yeah,
just gonna sit here.
yeah. I didn't know. I had like right in the very beginning, like I had a list of names on my phone and a note, and so like we were like going through them and trying things out. Um, we had like our boy names from like if we had boys, we had like those names, and I was like, do these fit? Um, I even think that like it took me a long time to even pick a middle name. It wasn't until we were going through like my legal name change that I actually picked a middle name.
Hmm.
Uh, and like Stevie wasn't even on my list. Um, we were watching Schitt's Creek at the time, and we just like I don't know. I remember saying it like, "Hey, I want to go by Stevie," and Eric was like, "Okay, done." Um, and like there are times that I don't even remember my own name.
Fair.
Yeah, and
There's Nicholas isn't my real last name. It's actually my middle name.
yeah,
And so like when people still call me by my real last name or I see it on a form, I'm like, it's
Jarring.
intrusive.
Yeah.
But it's also like, yeah, it's like Oh yeah, you might know me as Ethan Woodham, and like that's a crazy thought because I just dropped it. Got sick of it, so I do. Yeah, I understand that in my own way.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything to add at the moment?
Not at the moment.
Cool. Eric, I'm back.
Yes.
What, as someone in my own body who's recently understood that I am not straight and gone through that whole holy shit rigmarole with the life that I've lived, what was it like for you going through the what does this mean for me personally?
Yeah, it was a journey. I only ever actually said, I'm not straight out loud a couple weeks ago for the first time. But
Really?
yeah, I've always that was a point of bullying for me. I'm an artistic kid, right? So as a kid, I grew up, he's gay, and that.
Mm,
So there was a set of denial and vehement defensiveness about that.
another good word use.
Thank you. I've got a lexicon. Um,
I believe you.
so there was this very visceral reaction that I came to grips with pretty quickly because I don't know, maybe it's my stoicism, I don't know, but it became, I don't really care about the label, whatever it is. Call me what you like. I'm with this guy, so deal with it. And that's still the methodology that I take. I don't
Mm-hmm.
ascribe to any sort of label or definition. It's just, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I
Still
really
feel
don't
that
know
way.
how else to talk about it than that.
No, that's
No, I
fair.
think I have my own version of that of like I've known I'm not straight for a long time, but I didn't really care to not that I didn't care to figure it out. I was just like it's not that serious, team. Like I
Right?
either like girls or I don't and that actually doesn't impact anyone other than me. So like it was never I remember talking to my sister about it and she's like, "Well, like what do you want to do about that?" I was like, "Nothing. I'll cross that bridge when I get there." Like
Right?
it wasn't this big like I have to go figure this out and put a label to it and have a definition. It was just like first of all, who cares? And second of all, like it's not that serious.
Yeah.
So
At some point, I'm probably gonna be face first in another woman,
and then well,
and
I
that's
guess
about as
Right?
far as
figure it
I
out.
got. Like,
Like, is that your sister trying to make a plan? Let's get all the girls I know, and we'll get them
line
over
them
here
up,
until we
line them up,
get a match.
I think it was like the most supportive she could be of like,
Yeah.
okay, so like what's next? And I'm like, oh, nothing. I'm just like gonna say it out loud, and then
Right?
that can just like be in the air and all.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Um, to back to Stevie, who in your life outside of Eric was the most supportive of? Like, did you go to anybody else and were like, "Hey, I'm gonna have to tell Eric something kind of fucked up about me"? Like, was there someone that you had close to you? Is that person still close to you? What was it like for you to, in the moments, in the days, in the in the hint dropping month leading up to saying it out loud? What was it like for you to, navigate that headspace? And I'm about to not just come out, but like come out to someone that knows me away.
So yeah, there was a person. We are no longer friends. Um, he is like one of my first like gay friends. Queer. He always corrected me. I would call him gay, and he would always correct me. Nope, queer. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of like said, hey, I don't think I'm this person that everybody thinks that I am. Um, and he was like, cool, easy, done. Like it was just that easy. And I came out to Eric after that. Um, and then I sent a message to Eric's parents, said, hey, not a woman. This is what I'm going by now. And then I sent another message to my parents, and then I posted it on Facebook. I didn't even wait for them to respond. I feel like that was probably a mistake. Um,
I
but I,
remember having a call with my parents, talking them off a ledge.
I did the same thing coming out as gay and poly all in one,
Oh, nice.
and I just
oh,
shared a photo shoot we did with our ex-partner, and I was like, I'm just gonna put these on my Instagram story, and my parents are just gonna see it, and that's just gonna be how. And there was a whole like, we didn't deserve to know before the internet, and I said, you know what?
You
Now
don't-
everyone knows.
No, you
So,
don't.
Great. Now we're all on the same page together.
You don't. For any parent listening to this podcast, you don't.
And it was very much a conversation with my parents of like, that's how I felt the safest, and like that's on nobody but you
But you,
guys.
Right?
That's how I felt the safest. But I think a lot of us have that moment of like, you know what, fuck it. If I'm gonna tell one person, I'll just tell everyone, and then we're all on the same page and we can move on with our lives.
That's exactly why I did it. I gave each set of parents the respect of like, I did tell you first, and then posted it on Facebook because I knew that that's where my support system was going to come from. I knew that all of the people that I, you know, had already had following me were going to be my support system, and I knew that they were going to be the most supportive. And I was right. The comments were all supportive and awesome. And I think initially, like, my parents didn't really know what this entailed. So they were just like, okay, cool, and like, no big deal, which is what I anticipated. Eric's parents thought this meant that I was like leaving him and like moving on and not going to be his partner anymore. That this meant that I was like switching partners, not understanding what non-binary really meant. So yeah, Eric.
that's a fascinating assumption. My brain's processing that out of left field, being like, "Oh, that's a possibility."
Yeah, I mean, like
Hearing that up front, like,
right?
yeah,
When especially when you approach it as an I'm not a woman, in a binary mind, there's only one other option.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
fair. Like really though, like breaking it down, my brain goes, "Why the fuck?"
right?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I can see.
Technically.
I can see why. Yeah.
If we're working on nothing but technicalities here.
Yeah, I definitely dumped a lot of labor on Eric in the beginning.
There you go.
There you go.
Your parents, deal with it yourself.
My parents didn't know what that meant, but it wasn't for them. Like, they didn't care to figure it out right then. They, I know that like my parents and Eric's parents called each other in the background too, and were like, "What?"
I know we don't talk that much, but holy shit! Did you see what they? Talk about bringing the in-laws together. Are you guys okay to talk about your kids' experience? Like, have they shared with you what it's like going through? And I'm sure that there's a piece of to how we open the show with you guys watching for your safety now, and obviously their safety and their well-being. But it's not all bad. Is there? Yeah. What has your kids' experience been like? To what you can speak of? Obviously, they're their own individuals and they have their own voices. But what's it like being parents? Is a crazy way to ask that, but you know what I mean. Your story and how you got here is sure as fuck not Christian heteromonogamous. So there, do you sift that question out and enjoy it?
Hey,
I think the answer is 7.
Cool. Carry the 2 minus by 4 though. Like you forgot the 4.
Well, I mean, if we're carrying the 2 and we're subtracting 4, that's already a -2 that we're adding to it, so that makes it 5.
You're right. I forgot the negative.
Yep.
I'm gonna use the littlest answer, which is 4 other chicken nuggets. 4 other chicken.
4 out of chicken? Yeah,
Oh.
Other
that's
chicken.
4 out of chicken. It's the
I
best
missed
skill.
the apples part of the cart. Cool.
I'm lost.
We know.
I don't
No.
have that level of tism. I'm lost.
You're on the same page as the rest of us, Jill. We're all good.
Great, okay.
We're all lost
Cool.
together.
I mean,
whoever would like to speak on it first.
Yeah.
the oldest one was 3. So I mean, they don't know me as anything else. The youngest one was like, didn't know anything until all of a sudden, like, she's 2 years old and her boobs are gone, and like, holy fuck, that changed overnight. 'Cause I breastfed her all the way up until the night before my surgery.
Wow.
So I didn't wean her at all.
Not for lack of trying.
Yeah.
It's Just
But I mean,
precision.
Also fair.
it wasn't her only source of nutrition. It was just that was her comfort.
Mhm.
So like she had to adjust really fast. Um, and like
Did you have to adjust to that too? As a piece of like her comfort, even as we know, skin to skin, and how was that pivoting for you, losing a piece of that?
I didn't because
Okay.
she still slept next to me. Like we still do like we still put her to bed and like do skin to skin, and she's 4.
Cool.
Um, and like she still slept with me for like a year after that. So it didn't really
Very
change
cool.
my relationship with her. It just it made her pissed off at me for like a week. Um,
Fair.
because like I don't know, I came home from surgery and she expected to like give me a hug and nurse because I'd been away from her, and she was like,
Hmm.
"What the fuck? Where'd they go?"
Yeah.
um, but yeah, like the oldest one was 3, and the only thing was like I couldn't really pick them up, so like
Hmm.
Eric had to put them on my lap and snuggle. But that's like the only change that they experienced. Like everything else, like I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it. Like
No,
even
that's super fair.
yeah, and like even the other night, like my dad was putting the youngest one in the car and misgendered me because it slips. Like he's known me as
Hmm.
somebody else for 25 years. Um, and the littlest one, who's 4, corrected him, and it was amazing.
Like kids are just so, I don't want to say easy because I know they're not, and that's why I will never have any. But like they're very like go with the flow. Like they're just like cool. Like they speak their mind in the purest way of just like you said that wrong, so I'm going to correct you. And there's no
Right.
second thought from them most of the time to just be like, this is how it is, and this is what I know, and like
Yep.
Which
And
just
like
makes
they're
it
always gonna tell the truth too.
Fair.
There is no
No.
um like there
They're
is
the
no
purest version
filter.
of an autistic mind. Like it just
Yeah, I know, Eric, you're
uh
itching to say
yeah,
something.
that. Yeah.
Hmm?
Eric.
Passing it to you, Eric.
Oh,
That. We it sounded
okay.
like you're gonna say some stuff.
Um, if there was a train that left the station without me,
Say
Sorry.
it's all good. Um,
not even a complimentary toot toot from Stevie on the way out. Shit.
Choo choo.
no, I mean that's it. They've grown up with this. This is all they know, and
Hmm.
it's been fine for the most part. There was some adaptation at first for the their oldest, but I think that
Hmm.
you know, do they remember what it was like beforehand? Maybe, probably not, and they clearly aren't any worse for it.
Yeah.
The
Very
And
cool.
youngest
it's
one
it's
was sorry, go ahead, babe.
it's interesting, thinking like you guys were saying, the how honest and easy it is for them to just state what it is and move on, and the adaptability of children. Just imagine how great we would all be if we had the adaptability of children,
Hmm.
right? I would love that.
The youngest one called me mommy daddy for a while. That's the only thing that I can think of that was like
Yeah.
anything different. They still
Yeah.
call, they do call me mom. For a while we kind of like left it up to them, like what like if it doesn't
Hmm.
fit, then it doesn't fit, whatever. The oldest one now uses Stevie sometimes just to be a little shit. But like,
Hmm.
I mean, it's still just mom. Mom's a title,
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
I think all kids go through a phase. Like you'll rarely hear me refer to my dad as my dad, and he's my dad. But like all through high school, I referred to him as Link, just used his first name. And for so long, people like I remember one of my friends for years asked me, they're like, "Who's your real dad?" And I was like, "What do you mean, who's my real dad?" And they're like, "Well, like Link's obviously your stepdad." And I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, no, I just don't really like I never have really referred to my parents as like mom and dad. Like I'm like that's Vic and Link." But it's funny and it'll be interesting, I'm sure, for you guys too to see how that grows up with your kids of
Oh yeah.
yeah, my friend being like, "If that's your stepdad, who's your real dad?" And I'm like, "Oh no, that is my dad. Sorry."
Yeah,
My
right.
bad.
I'm I have to say, I'm not looking forward to. They're sassy already. I'm not looking forward to them at ages 12 and 15 together.
feel
It's
so
gonna
bad
be
for you and your dad because we live with Eric's parents. Um, I just feel bad because like it's all uteruses all over the house.
yeah.
It's gonna be a good time
Yeah.
puberty with them.
My dad survived.
Yeah, like I'm not all that concerned with my kid. Everyone warns me. They're like, wait till she's a teenager. I'm like, you and I parent very differently.
Right.
Like I hope my kid wants to scrap with me. I hope my kid pushes back.
Oh yeah.
I'm literally training her to do the thing. Are you kidding me? No, I don't want a daughter that's going to bow and run away at everything I say and do. Are you
No.
kidding me? That's how you motherfuckers got trapped where you are. No. My kid's gonna be able to scrap with me if she has to.
Oh yeah.
She should feel confident to say this shit out loud at and outside this house, she should be able to defend herself after she says it.
Right.
Yes, I want the problem. I look forward to those days because then I'm doing something right. She should very well be able to handle the problem if the problem's dad.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What? No. More questions? You have to have one by now. I've asked like 75.
I feel like you keep taking my questions.
Well, I'm not even
Oh.
reading the notes. I'm just listening to them talk and asking questions after that, like autistics should.
Well, now I'm on the spot. So...
You are. It's wonderful. Do you have any questions for us while we wait for whatever?
What's the weather like today?
It probably would have been like 32 if the sun had got through the smoke.
Right.
Lots of rain on and off, which has been nice because it clears it up. But like, I'd guess it's probably like 20 degrees outside right now, sort of sunny, but just smoke.
That's shitty.
A little bit.
Stevie, you mentioned at the beginning that you're working on the author title. Do you want to share what your book is about?
Sure. It is a children's book called What is a Safe Space? It is an alphabet type of book. So we go through the alphabet, and for each letter is a new character who gives a real life example about how to be a safe space. And all of the characters are based on real people who are followers from my Facebook page. The illustrations are really, really awesome. I found an illustrator who is queer and neurodivergent, and I came across her by accident. I was having a really shitty time and like having meltdown after meltdown publicly on Facebook and like I do. And she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to send you a drawing that I made to like cheer you up." And she put her watermark on it, and it said, "Carrie." And
Nerd.
Thank you. Hey, you recognized it with 3 notes.
Takes one to know one, my
Right?
guy. Don't get it twisted.
dork. All right. Fuck, what was I saying?
Talk about your book, Stevie. Talk about your book.
Watermark.
Oh,
Illustration.
yeah.
Watermark.
Okay, so
I'm
she's
really good
This
at...
is why I have Jill.
I'm
This
really
is why.
good at pulling conversations back because, like,
That's
especially
good.
when there's people in our house, Ethan will like tangent, and then I know at some point he's like, "What was I talking about?" And I just like pinpoint the moment we take a hard left, and I'm
Yep.
like, "You were actually." So I'm really great at that.
Good.
It's a
good.
good
We
skill.
need one of those.
I realize now that you say that out loud, it's because of Bugs Bunny. That motherfucker took a wrong turn at Albuquerque so many times. That's how it feels in my whole fucking system. I just figured it out right there with you guys. That's cool. Trauma therapy 101. Go.
So yes, book, illustration, watermark.
So I got a picture in my inbox, and she was like, I noticed you've been having a hard time, so I drew this for you to make you feel better. And it was daffodils and some bees, and it had her watermark on it, and it said Carrie Illustrator. And I said, "Are you an illustrator? Because I've written a children's book and I'm looking for an illustrator." And she's like, "Yeah." And so I commissioned her to do some samples, and I loved everything that she was sending me. She has a website and everything, but she's never been published yet. So I was like, I'm gonna just steal you and we're gonna launch you to stardom here. Um, and she ended up
You're a
designing like,
fascinating person.
thank
Just
you.
for the record, I'm listening to this over here, and I'm just like, what do you mean? Your Facebook group turned into everything about your mission in so many ways, and it keeps doing like that's so will always be fascinating to me as I'm just like tickled by your story at the moment.
Everything is full circle. 100% of it is full circle, and it's so cool how everything just keeps tying back to this one thing. So, anywho, she has illustrated not quite half of the book yet, but we've been querying for about a year, um, which is sometimes frustrating. I've had to start to reframe querying as
This moment to say that we have the same lighter.
See,
so does
bonding.
everybody.
I like that
Say
color.
that again.
So does everybody. It's Bic. Everybody has one.
It's not a Bic.
It's not a Bic. This is a reusable Clipper butane lighter that you can refill on repeat.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
We got it at the Dollar Tree.
Excuse me. Bic.
We're not about those disposable
You
things.
just lost an opportunity for a sponsor.
No. I lost an opportunity to be good to the planet because this is reusable. Bic, you chuck, and then it blows up in a landfill. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad advertising, Bic. Reusable. Clipper's the way to go. In my defense, you brought me and Eric together. It's not even my fault.
Perfect storm.
I'm not mad about it. I'm just, I'm allowed to have a feeling or two in a moment.
Aw.
I hope you have 3 feelings, not 1 or 2. What do you mean?
I'm going to have 6. All 6 of them.
Sick.
See if you can pinpoint them on my face.
What game
All
are
I
we
see
playing?
is shame.
A little bit of intrigue.
If you see,
Handsome glee. See, the cheeks don't do you justice because you look happy almost.
I always look
There,
happy.
and then if you talk, you're like Jill. If you talk about them, they get to do the thing. They go close to your eyebrows.
I don't know what you're talking
We have
about.
to invite them back.
I'm aware. You said working on the title of an author, so do you have a published date, or is that like a
Ooh, good question.
we'll get there when we get there?
So there have been opportunities to publish. I've had 2 offers to publish, and I have an opportunity to self-publish if I want to. The problem with the first 2 offers is they're very small publishers, and I would be doing most of the heavy lifting. So I would be doing my marketing, I would be doing fundraising, I would be doing, I would be bringing followers to them.
Yeah.
And
You'd
that's
be
not what I'm
leveraging your following.
So then you might as well just self-publish.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
that's the route that I had
Just
to go
checking.
because I ran into the same shit.
The reason I do not want to self-publish this, I have been very intentional about everything that I've done as a trans activist not involving children. And I've been really intentional about that. And this happens to be a children's book. And so for this reason, I am holding out and waiting for a publisher so that I can have the credibility and the backing behind me, so that when I am inevitably called a groomer or a pedophile, or doing readings at story times of any kind, I need to know that I have the credibility and people backing me. And for that reason, I refuse to self-publish this.
I love it.
I think it's like deeply annoying that you have to like
Yep.
loophole it to do it, but I think it's cool in a business owner brain to see that you've thought that far ahead to be like, yeah, it might be easier to do it this way or equal amounts of work to self-publish, but for X, Y, and Z, I'm not gonna. And I think it's cool to think that far ahead to like protect yourself, the book, the kids, all the things that go with it.
I don't even remember what my question was anymore, but that was good. I don't.
We've had issues in the past where people want my t-shirts as kid sizes. And I refuse
Mm-hmm.
to do it because I don't want to put those kids in danger.
Yeah. I remember
Uh,
you saying that. You made a post about it recently.
yeah, it's one of the FAQ on my website too, because
I believe it.
we get it all the time where people are like, I want this in a kid size. Like I've got a kiddo who's trans and their sibling wants to wear a shirt. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. You can purchase a pin, you can purchase some stickers. I will not make these
Mm-hmm.
trans activism shirts as kid sizes because they they can't give informed consent for having the conversations, and they can't accept the responsibility of the conversations that are illicit from these.
Most of those parents aren't ready for dealing with the other side of violence, anyways.
I also think that's also very much like the parents don't know the other side
Yeah,
of this.
that.
Like they
Yeah.
only know the good, and we want to show support, and we
The
want
virtue
people to know
signaling.
they're
Let's
welcome.
call it what it
And it's
is.
like, yeah, but you gotta look at, there's a whole other side to living this life that isn't just rainbows and butterflies and everyone should be
Exactly.
accepted and loved. And your 3-year-old kid is not the person that needs to be the one that makes you realize it's not rainbows and butterflies.
If you're
Right.
not prepared to be punched in the face, you're not ready to be an activist. And that's not like a ha 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 ha.
No.
It's the
At
truth.
any point, at any time, for any reason, for their thought process, this set of colors, I wear this shit in my hair currently, could set someone off and haul off. But I've accepted that. I'm old enough and big enough. I welcome it. Please, fuck.
Right. Exactly. Right.
So yeah, for full circle, that's the reason why we don't do kids shirts. However,
Mm-hmm.
we have designed a kids shirt that will not come out until the book comes out because it
Cool.
goes together and it's intentional and it's designed intentionally, and everything I do is intentional except for the things that I do by accident.
Eric's face is my favorite.
Everything's planned except for the things that aren't planned, and those are whoops.
This whole friggin'
Noted.
business was an accident. But now that we have captured an audience and can't make mistakes, everything's intentional.
I love it. It truly has been an honor having you guys here for this first event because we need more. We touched on so many things, and I'm sure there's more questions and we would love our listeners to get a chance to hear this episode and ask you guys questions themselves.
For sure.
But to just get to pick your brains as people, as activists, as humans on a mission. It's been really, really great chatting and getting to know you guys today, and I do look forward to more in the future.
Likewise.
Tell the people where they can find you.
Yes, please.
I have a new link tree, which is very exciting for me because it makes me feel all professional.
I love it.
This podcast will be linked in the link tree. So you can find that in my bio on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And
Perfect.
I'm Stevie B's on all of those things. You can probably find Eric too, but you have to go really digging because he doesn't do anything online.
I figured. If you find me, you find Eric, and that's all you need to know.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I get it. Well, they find Jill, they find both of us.
Right.
Is there anything that you guys want to end on? Is there anything you want to leave our listeners with as we say our goodbyes and close out the show? Can be about anything. Can be just about life. Something you want to leave them with on their day and their week as they listen to this on Thursday morning.
Flip your laundry.
Good one.
Do your laundry before the weekend so you don't have to spend all weekend doing your laundry.
Right.
Flip your laundry so you clean underwear before Saturday. So you don't have to go
Yeah,
commando.
so you can go out and not do it commando.
Or do it commando.
Or do it commando and live dangerously. You never know.
Right. Yeah.
Do it intentionally.
Yeah, make the actual choice. Don't have it be an accident. That's a weird one. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I've been Ethan with Fight Me on this.
I'm Jill. I coach Jill.April. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Love you.